I did want to talk to you a little bit about your battle with kidney disease, which I know you celebrated recently. Congratulations, a 20-year anniversary of the procedure last year, I believe.
Yeah.
While doing research, it was insane for me to think about the pain and discomfort you had during your basketball career, especially in the 99 season with the Memorial Day Miracle. I mean, how were you able to play with this stuff going on? I mean, that's such a basic question, but you were an all-star and a champion, and you were kind of weeks away from needing surgery. Did you not feel that kind of horrific, kidney pain?
Yeah, well, my whole saga started way back in the 92-93 season, where I had an injury and my back was really hurting and bothering me for the second half of that season. And I was taking a lot of non-steroidal anti-inflammatories at the time. I was taking everything under the sun, even taking a drug now that's outlawed. You can't even give it to people anymore.
Wow.
And so, I was doing whatever I could to play during that season. And it was after that season that my kidney disease was discovered. But at that point, I did have a lot of pain in my midsection. Everybody thought it was back spasms, and that's how it was treated. Then later on that summer, it was, again, my kidney disease was discovered. But, I played with, elevated creatinine, which is indication of your kidney function. I played with elevated creatinine for the rest of my career,
wow.
the last 7 years. And so there were times, many times, especially when I was in Detroit, I'd just come off of 2 months of high doses of prednisone therapy, which really wreaks havoc on your body. And there were many times when I'd come off that, like when I was going to walk into half court to start the game, I would feel like my legs were water balloons.
Yeah.
I had so much water retention in my body and in my hands. And as the game progressed, a little bit of that would go away. But you could see after, Jensen, like everybody gets taped up before the game around your ankles. And so when I would cut the tape off at the bottom where my ankles were, it looked like, I used to call it a pirate's leg.
Mm-hmm.
My calf, my thighs and my calf would be swollen. And then where my ankles were taped, it was incredibly skinny. Like it stopped the fluid
Wow.
from running down into my ankle and my feet. So it was something that I played with for pretty much over a 12-year career. I played with kidney disease for 7 years, so for a majority of my career.
It's unbelievable, the statistics you were able to put up with that. I mean, did your teammates know that you were battling this stuff?
I think people started to find out after I had failed my physical when I tried to get traded from Detroit to Houston.
Mm-hmm.
When I failed that physical, then it became pretty public knowledge that there was something going on with me, and players didn't quite know. They thought, well, I had something going on with my kidneys, but no one really knew to what extent. And even at that point, Jensen, I didn't know, because my diagnosis early on was something called minimal change disease.
Mm-hmm.
And that meant they went in, I had a kidney biopsy. They went in and they took out a piece of your kidney and they looked at it under a microscope and it had minimal change. But later on, the disease was it was early signs of focal sclerosis. And so later on, when the disease started to really ramp up and really start to damage my kidneys, then it became apparent what was really wrong with me.
Well, I'm so happy to talk to you because no one knows what it's like to play through adversity more than you. So let's talk about the NBA bubble. We have a few games under our belt now. The process seems to be working against coronavirus. What are your thoughts about what you've seen so far?
Oh, man, there's been a lot of positive signs. I got to tell you, a lot of things that really made me feel proud to be an NBA alum, obviously a former player and a member of the Spurs organization. Mm-hmm. First off, I mean, the fact that the NBA is leading the way when it comes to all sports leagues.
Yep.
They've been extremely conscious of their players, of the fans, of personnel. They've done a first-class job of presenting the games, protecting everybody involved. I wasn't sure how they'd be able to pull it off. One of my main concerns was, how do you actually play games without fans?
Right.
I mean, fans matter. Fans, to me, they're everything. You put the fans in the stands, they provide the environment, they give players adrenaline. It's a huge boost for the home team. To me, fans mean everything. And so how are you going to pull off the same type of excitement without those people in the stands? And the way they stage the games, the way they're shot, I think they've done a tremendous job. Even piping in fake crowd noise.
Yeah,
it actually works.
Yeah.
We've called 3 games so far, and they've been a lot of fun. The games have been exciting. I think the fans are enjoying the product, and so in that regard, I think the NBA has a huge feather in the cap, especially if they can get all the way to the finals and actually pull this thing off.
Right.
And the other part that I'm just extremely proud of is the way that they've helped push along the social justice issues. Mm-hmm. They didn't censor their players. Matter of fact, they encouraged their freedom of speech. They enhanced the guys' platforms, and the players have been, to me, they've been very responsible with their message, and they've been tolerant. I mean, I said last night on our telecast that the players right now, they've set a great example for society. You have guys that stand for the national anthem, and you have guys that kneel for the national anthem. Mm-hmm. No one's being pressured to kneel. No one's being pressured to stand. Myers Leonard stood the other day, and after the national anthem, Udonis Haslem gives him a fist bump and says, "Hey, you're still our brother. We stand with you too."
Yeah.
And the guys are extremely tolerant of each other's stance, and they understand each other. And so, to me, that's a great lesson for society. And these guys are just been great examples.